Oke. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon all. So, today I'm Wahyu Satrio Wibowo. Want to explain to you about procedure text. So, let's do it. What is procedure text? Procedural texts are instructional texts that provide step-by-step guidance on how to perform a specific task or procedure. There are several types of procedural texts. It's designed to guide readers through different processes. The one is recipes. Recipes provide instruction for cooking or baking dishes. They typically include a list of ingredients and a series of steps to follow to prepare the dish. For example, how to make cheese. The second is instruction manuals. The instruction manuals provide guidance on how to assemble, operate, or maintain a product or device. They often include diagrams, illustration, and troubleshooting tips. For example, user manual for smartphones. And the third is how-to guides. How-to guides offer instruction on how to perform various tasks or activities, such as a DIY projects, crafts, or repairs. They may include tips, techniques, and safety precautions. For example, how to build a birdhouse. And the fourth is tutorials. Tutorials are instructional texts or videos that teach users how to use software, tools, or equipment. They may include demonstration, screenshot, or video demonstration. For example, Photoshop tutorial for how to remove backgrounds. And the fifth is standard operation and procedures. SOPs are formal documents that outline the steps to be followed to complete a specific task in a consistent and standardized manner. They are often used in professional settings such as workplace, laboratory, or manufacturing facilities. For example, laboratory SOP for conductory experiments. And the sixth is assembly instruction. Assembly instructions provide guidance on how to assemble furniture, equipment, or other products. They may include written instruction, diagrams, and part lists. For example, IKEA assembly instruction for a bookshelf. Okay, next is the generic structures of procedure text. The one is goal or aim. It contains the introduction section outlines the goal or aim of the procedure, explaining what the reader will achieve by following the instruction. And the second is the material or ingredients. This section lists the materials, ingredients, or equipment needed to complete the procedure. The third is steps or procedure. The main body of the text presents the step-by-step instruction or procedures required to complete the task. Each step is typically numbered or bulleted for clarity. And the fourth is tips or additional information. Some procedure texts might include a section with tips, suggestions, or additional information to help the reader successfully complete the task or process. The next is purpose. The purpose of procedural text is one, to instruct. The primary purpose of procedure text is to provide clear and concise instruction on how to perform a specific task or process. By breaking down complex procedure into simply easy to follow steps, procedure tests help readers understand and execute the task effectively. The second is to inform. Procedure text informs reader about the materials, equipment, and steps involved in completing a task or process. It provides reader with the knowledge and information they need to successfully carry out the procedure. And the third is to guide. Procedure text guides readers through the necessary action or procedures required to achieve a desired outcome. It helps reader navigate the process, ensuring that they complete each step in the correct sequence. And the next is the language features. The first is imperative mode. Procedure text typically use the imperative mode to give commands or instruction to the reader. Verbs are often used in the beginning of the sentence to indicate action that need to be performed. The second is sequential order. Procedure text is organized in a sequential order, with each step presented in the order it should be completed. Clear transition words such as both first and next finally are used to indicate the sequence of steps. And the third is technical vocabulary. Procedure text might include technical vocabulary or specialized terminology related to the task or process being described. Clear and precise language is used to ensure that the readers understand the instruction. And the last is conciseness. Procedure text is written in a concise and straightforward manner, with unnecessary details omitted. Information is presented in a clear and logical manner to facilitate understanding. And then is social function. The first is knowledge and sharing. Procedure text enable individuals to share their expertise, knowledge, and skills with others by providing clear and detailed instruction and how to perform a specific task or process. And the second is empowerment. Procedure text empowers individuals to independently carry out tasks and solve problems by providing them with the guidance and instruction they need to achieve a desired outcome. And the third is efficiency and productivity. Procedure tests promote efficiency and productivity by streamlining processes and standard design procedures. By providing clear and consistent instruction, procedure tests enable individual to an organization to perform tasks more better. And the fourth is safety and compliance. Procedure tests plays a critical role in ensuring safety and compliance with regulation and standard. Conclusion. Overall, procedure text serves as a valuable tool for communication, learning, and problem solving within society, enabling individuals to share knowledge, empower others, improve efficiency and productivity, and promote safety and compliance in various contexts. And next, we go to a Q&A session. The first question is, mention the general of the text, goal, materials, steps, tips, or additional information. First is goal. The introduction sets goal to teach the reader how to make an origami crane. Materials. A list of materials required is provided a square sheet of origami paper. Steps. The core of text provides detailed step-by-step instruction for folding the origami crane. And tips or additional information contains the conclusion offer additional information and tips. It encourages practicing with different paper and explore of the concept of origami as an in art form. And the second answer is write down the language features, imperative mode, sequential order, technical vocabulary, and conciseness. Imperative mode. This is dominates the instruction section. Verbs are used in their base form to directly tell the reader what to do. For example, fold the paper diagonally in half, crease the fold well, repeat the same fold. Sequential order. The instructions are presented in a clear sequential order, ensuring the readers follows the origami crane step by step. Transition like fold in a half again and repeat the same fold, guide the reader through the process. And second is technical vocabulary. The text uses some technical terms specific to origami, like crease and flap. The terms help ensure clarity to avoid confusion. And the third is conciseness. The instructions are concise and focused on the essential steps. Sentences are short and to the point, making it easier for the reader to follow along. And then it is multiple choice question. You can see on your screen from number 1 and 2, and then number 3 and 4, and the last is number 5. Next, we go to the high order thinking skills. The answer for number 1 is different folding techniques such as volley folds, mountain folds, and soft folds are strategically employed to create precise crease and intricate shapes in the paper. These techniques plays a crucial role in shaping overall structure of the origami crane, ensuring its stability and enhancing its visual beauty. The second question is, what cultural significance does the origami crane hold in Japanese tradition, and how has the symbolism influenced in its widespread adoption as a symbol of peace and good fortune? My answer is the origami crane holds deep cultural significance in Japanese tradition, symbolizing longevity, happiness, and good luck. It is also associated with the story of Sadako Sasaki, a young girl who folded thousands of paper cranes while battling leukemia. Inspired by belief that folding 1,000 cranes would grant her wish for health and peace. Sadako's story and the symbolism of the crane have contributed its whispered adoption as a symbol of peace, hope, and healing, both in Japan and, uh, and around the world. The third question and answer is mathematics plays a fundamental role in origami design and construction, guiding the precise folding and shaping of paper to create geometrically intricate models. Concepts such as symmetry help maintain balance and harmony in the final design, while proportion ensure that folds are accurately aligned and dimensions are consistent. Geometry informs the creation of complex shapes and structures, allowing the origami artist to explore a wide range of possible in their creation. And then the fourth question is, and the front is, origami serves as a universal language of creativity, artistic expression. Transcending the geographical and cultural boundaries, stroke origami individuals from diverse backgrounds can connect, share, and appreciate the beauty of paper folding as a form of cultural exchange. Origami workshop, exhibits, and collaborative projects provide opportunities for people around the world to engage with this ancient art form, fostering cross-cultural understanding and appreciation for diversity. And there is a personal question, and that is my answer. Learning to create origami cranes has allowed me valuable lessons in patience, precision, and creativity. Through the intricate folding process, I have learned to appreciate the importance of patience, perseverance, perseverance in achieving desired outcomes. Additionally, the emphasis and precision has honed my attention to detail and taught me to execute its fold with care and accuracy. Moreover, origami has sparked my creativity, providing unique new outlet for self-expression and experimentation. Moving forward, I plan to apply this skill to other aspects of my life, utilizing patience and precision to tackle challenges and embracing creativity to explore innovative solutions and problems. Okay, that's my presentation for today. Thanks to the audience for having my presentation, and see you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.